Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is Santu Sahu and you are watching Sahu's tutorial. So in this YouTube video, here I'll be covering some 30 important MCQ questions for the upcoming UGC NET exam on English literature. Questions will be on dystopian literature, utopian literature. So this is going to be very fruitful session. An important session is waiting for all of you. Who's well? Quickly, and let me share this link on my Telegram channel. Those who have not joined yet, you can join the Telegram channel. Do join quickly, and I'll be covering here some there is a base 30 important MCQ questions. Good evening, everyone. Do join. This is going to be a very fantastic session, very interesting session. Okay, this is going to be a very fantastic session, very interesting session. Do join quickly. Okay. And how are you all? Yes. So here I will be covering it's a kind of mock test, 30 important MCQ questions based on world literature. Do join quickly. Okay. Chalo, let's wait. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Good evening, Subramshu. How are you? How are you, Subramshu? So, are you well now? Are you okay? Yeah. Do join. Excellent. Okay. Is everything okay? Is the PPT is visible and I am audible to everyone? All good. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation, Saurav and Subramshu as well. Thank you. Okay. Are you okay now, Subramshu? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you for confirmations. I'm fine. I'm also here fine. Okay. Let's begin. And here is the first question on your screen. Okay. So, in which century does the novel The Last Man's narrative take place? Yeah. Thank you everyone. Let's begin here without wasting your time. Yeah. Here is your first question on your screen. Do answer in the comment box, like the video. In which century does the novel The Last Man's narrative take place? Okay. 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, 21st century. And in the YouTube community sections as well in the Telegram channel, I had shared that this is the last man is actually a dystopian novel. It's a dystopian novel by whom? By Mary Shelley. Okay, Mary Shelley has also written dystopian novel, and this novel, there is a last man. The narrative takes place in which century? 18th century, 19th century, 20th, 21st century. So what would the right answer here? Any idea? Mary Shelley has also written dystopian fiction that is called The Last Man. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely fantastic. This is 21st century. Excellent. 21st century is the right answer. Excellent, Subramshu. Moving on to question number 2 here. Who were the main figures discussed in fictive allusions in the novel that is the Last Man? Okay, The Last Man. Here, who were the main figures? Who were the main figures discussed in the fictive allusions in the novel? Here, more than 2 authors were alluded in this novel, in this dystopian novel called The Last Man by Mary Shelley. Napoleon Bonaparte and Marie Antoinette, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, P.B. Shelley and Lord Byron, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were the main figures discussed in the fictive allusions in the novel here. The novel The Last Man by Mary Shelley. Tell me. Do answer in the comment box as well. Do like the session, share with your friends, and stay tuned with this channel. And I hope that I will continue these sessions, okay, and I'll be helping you out to qualify any exam. Here, the right answer, what would be the right answer here? Do answer. Here, the right answer is P.B. Shelley and Lord Byron, okay? Allusion to P.B. Shelley and Lord Byron. C is the right answer. P.B. Shelley and Lord Byron, ठीक है? Here you see The Last Man is an apocalyptic dystopian science fiction by Mary Shelley, first published in 1826. Okay, and the narrative concerns Europe in the late 21st century. Okay, in the late 21st century. Got it? And ravaged by the rise of bubonic plague pandemic that rapidly sweeps across the entire globe, ultimately resulting in the next year extinction of the humanity. It also includes discussion of the British state as a republic. Okay? And the novel includes many fictitious allusions to her husband P.B. Shelley, who drowned in a shipwreck 4 years before the book's publication, as well as their close friend Lord Byron. So there is an allusion to P.B. Shelley, her husband, and their close friend Lord Byron, who had died 2 years previously. And here you see the main character, the last man, is Lionel Verne. Lionel Verne is the last man. This is actually, and this character Lionel Verne is largely autobiographical figure for Mary Shelley. Okay? Lionel Verne is largely an autobiographical figure for Mary Shelley. And Adrian Arlo Windsor is actually P.B. Shelley, and Lord Raymond is Lord Byron. This character is based on Lord Byron. Lord Raymond, Lord Byron, Adrian Arlo Windsor, P.B. Shelley, Lionel Verne, Mary Shelley. Okay, got it? Dystopian apocalyptic novel, 21st century. Next question. What is the title of the chronicle work by Erwin Allen Shelley, who traces the history of Anglo-Indian community through 7 generations, Trotter family? So you all answered C. So was it C? Yeah, exactly. Everyone actually right. Actually, P.B. Shelley and Lord Byron was the answer. Excellent, everyone. Saurabh and Subramsu. Yeah. Here, question number 3 on your scale. What is the title of the chronicle? Okay. Work by Allen Shelley that traces the history of Anglo-Indian community through 7 generations of the Trotter family. Options are the Anglo-Indian Saga, the Trotter Chronicles, the Trotter Nama, Tales of 7 Generations. Now, what would be the right answer here? Question number 3 is on your screen. Okay, excellent. This is excellent. Okay. Trotter Nama, exactly. Allen Shelley has, yeah, it's Trotter Nama, okay. Trotter Nama by Allen Shelley. Okay, how are you all? Yeah, it is the Trotter Nama, exactly. Trotter Nama is the right answer. The Trotter Nama is a 1980 is a chronicle work by Allen Shelley. The novel traces the history of Anglo-Indian community of 7 generations of the Trotter family and is narrated by Eugene, the 7th Trotter, who forges miniatures for a living. The chronicle has interesting tales of India under British rule. 1988 traces the history of Anglo-Indian community of 7 generations of the Trotter, and he was the Eugene. Eugene was the 7th Trotter. He forgery कर रहा था miniatures for living. Who forges miniatures for a living. It is under the British rule. What is New Arabian Nights? New Arabian Nights, a novel by Robert Louis Stevenson, a collection of short stories by Robert Louis Stevenson, a poem or a play. New Arabian Nights. Apart from novels, Robert Louis Stevenson has also written some stories. New Arabian Nights. These are lesser known works. Sometimes the lesser known works are also asked in the examinations. That's why I have chosen some lesser known works. But it is also important. It is not. So New Arabian Nights. Excellent, Anandita. So New Arabian Nights is actually a collection of short stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. It is by Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson has also written the collection of short stories called New Arabian Nights. You see here the New Arabian Nights by Robert Louis Stevenson, first published in 1882, is a collection of short stories previously published in magazines between 1870 and 1880. So it is exactly all of you right. It is collection of short stories. Now, it is a deep study. It is a deep study of life in the city of Florence from an intellectual, artistic, religious, and social point of view. Okay? The plot follows Florence 1492, that is Christopher Columbus has sailed towards the New World, and Florence has just mourned the death of its leader Lorenzo de Medici. Which novel is this? Adam Bede, The Meal on the Floors, Silas Marner, Romola, Felix Holt the Radical, Middlemarch, Daniel Deronda. And for your kind attention, this is actually the chronological order. Okay, for all of you, okay, I have also given the options here. Okay, chronological. You see, you can also write it down that these are the chronological order. These are the chronological for all of you. It's chronological order. Okay, the novels of Eliot. Okay. For you, I have made this. Okay, this is the debut novel. Okay. Then Meal on the Floors, then Silas Marner, then Romola, then Felix Holt, then Middlemarch, and the last was Daniel Deronda. Okay, let us Daniel. The last one is Daniel Deronda. It is not the right answer actually. Okay, so first work is the debut novel Adam Bede, then Meal on the Floors, Silas Marner, Romola, Felix Holt the Radical, Middlemarch, Daniel Deronda. Okay, these are the novels written by Eliot. Remember that. And you know that Adam Bede, probably 1859 is it? Yeah, Adam Bede had published in 1859. Okay, in the year of origin of species. Okay, so what would be the right answer here? Here the right answer is Romola. Okay, Romola. Okay, Romola is the historical novel. This is the historical novel. Okay, historical novel. Okay, so Romola is a deep study of life in the city of Florence from intellectual, artistic, religious, social point of view. The plot follows Florence 1492. Christopher Columbus has sailed towards New World. That's why it is Romola. So have you written down? Adam Bede. These are the chronological sequence of these novels published by George Eliot. Okay, and Romola is the historical novel. Here Romola is the right answer. Have you written down? Okay. And the last novel is Daniel Deronda. Okay. Next question. Who is the author of the book Indian Words in English, a study in Indo-British cultural and linguistic relations? Okay. Who is the author of the book Indian Words in English, a study in Indo-British cultural and linguistic relations? You can also take screenshots. Okay, which are if you are not able to write down, okay, the information so at the same time simultaneously, then you can also take a screenshot. After that you can write it down. So Indian Words in English, a study in Indo-British cultural and linguistic relations, is a work by George Orwell, Arkin S. G. Subbarao, Vikram Seth. Excellent, Anita. It is G. Subbarao. Excellent. So Indian Words in English, a study in Indo-British culture and linguistic relations, is a work by G. Subbarao. Excellent. Sort of excellent. Next question. Moving on to question number 7. Which of the following regions did Alfred Russel Wallace explore during his 8-year journey chronicled in his the Malay Archipelago? The Malay Archipelago is a work by Alfred Russel Wallace, where he has explored his 8-year journey. And which of the following regions were? Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, Southern South America, or southern portion of Malay Archipelago, including Malaysia, Singapore, the islands of Indonesia, the island of New Guinea. Alfred Russel Wallace, the Malay Archipelago. The option itself is biased. Yeah. That is southern, excellent Subrantu, southern portion of Malay Archipelago, including Malaysia, Singapore, the islands of Indonesia, and the island of New Guinea. These are I am telling you these are quality content. Okay, these are quality content. Okay, these are quality content. You will not get any. The Malay Archipelago is a book by the British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace, which chronicles his scientific exploration during the 8-year period 1850. This इसके लिए कॉपी नहीं करना पड़ता, इसके लिए जो बनाता है उसको रीड करना पड़ता है, ठीक है. After reading, knowing all these things have to make, ठीक है. These are quality contents. The Malay Archipelago is a book by the British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace, which chronicles his scientific explorations during the 8-year period 1854 to 1862. The southern portion of the Malay Archipelago, including Malaysia, Singapore, these are the things. Next question here. What is the title of the book by Charles Darwin that applies evolutionary theory to human evolution and introduces the concept of sexual selection? This one, tell me. You read it out and answer. What is the title of the book by Darwin? जहाँ पे is applying the evolutionary theory to human evolution and introduces the concept of sexual selection. I knew Godot would answer like this. Godot read the questions very carefully. Okay, Godot. I knew someone probably will answer like this. Okay, and yeah, even Saurabh too. Okay. Yeah, excellent, Anindya. It is the descent of man. Exactly. The descent of man and selection in relation to sex. Okay. Origin of species, the descent of man, these are works by Charles Darwin. You see, selection of sex, the concept of sexual selection, it is also given in the title, selection in relation to sex. The descent of man by Charles Darwin. Okay. Dear added. See, the descent man, that is the full title is actually the descent of man and selection in relation to a sex is a book by English naturalist Charles Darwin, first published in 1871, and the origin of species was published in 1859, which applies evolutionary theory to human evolution, details its theory of sexual selection, a form of biological adaptation distinct from yet interconnected with natural selection. The book discusses many related issues, including evolutionary psychology, evolutionary ethics, evolutionary musicology, differences between human races, differences between sexes, the dominant role of women in mate choice, and the relevance of the evolutionary theory to society. The Descent of Man by Charles Darwin, 1871. When the Confidence Man. Okay, the Descent Man was written by whom? The Descent Man was written by Charles Darwin. Now here the question is the Confidence Man. Okay, it's masquerade, and first published in which year? April's Fool's Day, October 31, July 4, and January. Okay, वो relate करके पढ़ना है. The Descent Man by Charles Darwin. Here, the Confidence Man. And Confidence Man is the title or character. The famous character, the title or character, the Confidence Man is masquerade, first published. And this was written by whom? I am giving you the clue, and he is from America. He's an American writer. Okay. The Confidence Man is masquerade. It's first published. I am giving writing down here. Okay. Now to tell me options, like you have like okay. I'm giving options. William Faulkner, who has written, okay? William Faulkner, Arthur Miller, excellent, Melville, got it, Subramsu, got it, Herman Melville. The Confidence Man, he's masquerade, first published in April Fool's Day, excellent Subramsu, it is April Fool's Day, 1857. 1857 में क्या हुआ था? सिपाही म्यूटिनी, isn't it? सिपाही म्यूटिनी. So during 1857 ना हुआ था ना, हाँ, सिपाही म्यूटिनी. So April Fool's Day. That is by Herman Melville. A Confidence Man is Masquerade, first published in New York on April Fool's Day 1857, is the ninth book and the final novel by American writer Herman Melville. The book was published on exact day of the novel setting. Exact day of the novel setting, centered on the title character. The title character is the Confidence Man, portrays a group of steamboat passengers. Their interlocking stories are told as they travel on the Mississippi River. My elder brother is in Mississippi actually. My elder brother is in Mississippi and he's a postdoctoral research scholar in physics, Mississippi, University of Mississippi. Okay, so Mississippi River in USA. So river toward New Orleans. The narrative structure is reminiscent of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Scholar Robert Milner notes this one. Okay, by here Herman Melville. So, what is the Talisman? By Sir Walter Scott? Okay, what is the Talisman by Sir Walter Scott? And he's a visiting scientist. A novel set in ancient Rome, a novel set during the Renaissance, a novel set during the Third Crusade, a novel set in modern times. Excellent, Subramsu. The Talisman by Sir Walter Scott actually here this one, a novel set during the Third Crusade. Excellent, Subramsu. A novel set during the Third Crusade. Okay. Next question. Excellent. Oh, here is the explanation. The Talisman is one of the Waverley novels by Sir Walter Scott, published in 1825 as the second of its tales of Crusaders. It is set during the Third Crusades. Centers on the relationship between Richard I and England and Saladin. Who is the author of the novel Gradiva, which Sigmund Freud's essay analyzes. And name of the essay is actually Delusion and Dream. The essay is Delusion and Dream. Who is the author of the novel Gradiva, who is Sigmund Freud's essay that is Delusion and Dream analyzed? Sigmund Freud, William Jameson, Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche. Who is the author of the novel Gradiva, who is Sigmund Freud's essay that is Delusion and Dream analyzed? Excellent. It is Wilhelm Jensen. Wilhelm Jensen is the right answer. Excellent, Subramshu. It is Wilhelm Jensen. And here is the explanation that it is B exactly. Good. Delusions and Dream in Jensen's Gradiva. Okay, this is the full title. Of the essay. Delusion and Dream in Jensen's Gradiva is an essay written in 1907 by Sigmund Freud that subjects the novel Gradiva by Wilhelm Jensen and especially its protagonist to psychoanalysis. Okay. What is the full title of the poem Macfligno? And who is the author of Macfligno? Macfligno, the true blue Protestant poet. Macfligno, a satire on the English poets. Macfligno, a satire upon the true blue Protestant poet T.S. Macfligno, or the triumph of mock heroics. What is the full title of the poem, the Macfligno? Do like the session as well. Share with friends. Join the Telegram channel. Oh, Trident's Macfligno. Yeah, mock heroics poem. Mock heroic satire poem. Macfligno is a mock heroic. It's a mock heroic poem. Take a mock heroic satire. Dryden has written Macfligno. What is the full title of the poem Macfligno here? It is not a blue Protestant poet. It is not satire on English poet. Exactly. Mac Fligno, or a satire upon the true blue Protestant poet T.S. Exactly. Now, in the next question, you say, tell me who was T.S. Okay. Who is the target of John Dryden's satire in Mac Fligno? Oh, very easy one. मैंने कितना easy question दे दिया इधर पे. Who is the target of the John Dryden satire in Mac Fligno? Dryden's T.S. Again. No. Again, C. Yeah. Max Pligno is a satire, direct attack. It's a direct attack. Direct attack on Thomas Sadwell. Okay? That is T.S. Thomas Sadwell. So here C is the right answer. Excellent. Max Pligno, a satire upon the true blue Protestant poet T.S. The verse mock heroic satire. It's a verse mock heroic satire. Verse mock heroic satire written by John Dryden. It is a direct attack on Thomas Sadwell, another prominent poet of the time. It opens with the lines here. You remember, this is the I always try to tell you that. Remember this here, the famous opening line of this: all human things are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarchs must obey. Remember this line. Okay, this is the famous opening line of Dryden's mock heroic satire. Mac Fligno, all human things are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarch must obey. Okay, remember this. Who is the author of the play? Like the author's Farce and the pleasure of the town. This is the work. And Tom Thumb, lesson on work. Apart from novels, he had also written some plays. Okay, lesson on works. Okay. The author of Farce and the pleasure of the town, Tom Thumb. You can assume it, okay, by the title of the plays. Okay, you can even answer it. Okay, you can even answer it. In the question, there is the clue. Okay, who is the author of the plays? Like the author of the author's Farce and the pleasures of the town, and Tom Thumb. H.G. Wells, Jane Austen, Henry Fielding, Charles Dickens. Apart from novels, he has also written some plays. These are plays actually. There are 14 is on his screen. बहुत मारेंगे वो. Subhranshu, I told you that the title there. Yeah, exactly. Tom Jones, Henry Fielding, Tom Thumb. Exactly, it is Henry Fielding. Tom Thumb. And the author's Farce and the pleasures of the town, Henry Fielding. Here, C is the right answer. Exactly, fantastic. Subhranshu, Godot, Saurabh. Hey, Saurabh, how can you say A.G. Wells, Tom Jones, Tom Thumb? Okay, here 14C is the right answer. Okay, Saurabh. Okay, which 17th century play influenced writing the fixed period? Okay, which 17th century play influenced Anthony Trollope's writing of the fixed period? And this is a dystopian novel. This is a dystopian work. Okay, dystopian play. Sorry, it's dystopian play. The Fixed Period. Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. The Old Law by Thomas Middleton, William Rowley, and Philip Messenger. Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Okay. Which 17th century play influenced Trollope's? And those candidates who are watching, even who are also preparing for CUT PG, do you know that how much you have been prepared here? You'll be becoming a pro. Okay, you will become a pro player. Okay, don't worry. Okay, watch all these videos, enjoy these videos. I definitely tell you. Okay, you'll be doing something. Okay, you'll be succeeded. Don't worry. Exactly. The Old Law by Thomas Middleton, William Rowley, and Philip Messenger. Okay, and I'm talking about Subhranshu and Saurabh. Okay. Yeah, this is here. C is the right answer. What is the setting of the Anthony Trollope's novel, The Fixed Period? London, England. New York, USA. Republic of Britannia. It is not a play actually, sorry, it's a dystopian novel था ये इधर पे play होगा, it's a novel होगा, ठीक है, एंथनी ट्रॉलॉपी novel होगा, ठीक है, the fixed period, it is not actually play, it's novel. चलो, what is the setting of the Anthony Trollope's novel The Fixed Period? What is the setting of the Anthony Trollope's novel The Fixed Period? London, England. Here the right answer is here Republic of Britannia, ठीक है, Republic of Britannia. Republic of Britannia is the right answer. Republic of Britannia is the right answer. ठीक है, Republic of Britannia. Excellent. ठीक है, चलो. Exactly, Saurabh. It is Republic of Britannia. The Fixed Period by Anthony Trollope's novel, dystopian novel, The Fixed Period. And here is the explanation. Okay, the fixed period is actually Trollope's one piece of dystopian writing. ठीक है, the fixed period is Trollope's one piece of dystopian writing. The fixed period here, Trollope was influenced in writing the book by the old law, 17th century tragicomedy by the Thomas Middleton, William Rowley, and Messenger he had read. The fixed period is set in the 1980 in the Republic of Britannia, a fictional island. The fixed period is actually set in the year 1980 in the Republic of Britannia, a fictional island in the vicinity of New Zealand, and deals with this one. Okay, is it? And the novel takes the form of a personal account written by the President of Britannia about the island's recent history. And yeah, and remember that, okay, it has frequently been remarked, okay, when the book came out, Trollope himself had reached at the age of 60, has reached the age of 60. The exact age at which all Britannians are obliged by law to retire from their worldly affairs and begin a year for preparation for death. 67 years के बाद they'll have to mentally fit for the preparation for death. Begin a year of preparation for death after 67 years. What is the title of the dystopian science fiction novel by H.G. Wells? The Dreamer's Visions, The Sleeper Awakes, Awakened Future, The London Transformation. H.G. Wells has written here another dystopian science fiction novel. Which one is this? The Sleeper Awakes, The Dreamer's Vision, Awakened Future, The London Transformation. So, okay, yeah, The Sleeper Awakes, exactly. Excellent. And that is The Sleeper Awakes. The Sleeper Awakes is the one dystopian science fiction by H.G. Wells. Excellent. The Sleeper Awakes is the dystopian science fiction novel by the English writer H.G. Wells about a man who sleeps for 203 years. For 203 years, waking up in a completely transformed London, in which he has become the richest man in the world. The main character, awakes to see his dreams realized and the future revealed to him in all its horrors and malformities. 203 साल के लिए, ठीक है? Who sleeps for 203 years. Sleeper Awakes, dystopian science fiction novel by H.G. Wells. And after waking up, he sees that he is in a completely transformed London, which has become the richest man in the world. What is the title of the novel by Vladimir Nabokov that takes place in a prison and follows the last 20 days of Cincinnatus C? Last 20 days of Cincinnatus C. A prisoner's dilemma, the last 20 days, invitation to a beheading, the Gnostic prisoner. What is the title of the novel by Vladimir Nabokov? Vladimir Nabokov is famously known for works like Lolita. Lolita is a famous work by Vladimir Nabokov that takes place in a prison and follows the last 20 days of Cincinnatus C. A prisoner's dilemma, the last 20 days, invitation to a beheading, and the Gnostic prisoner, Vladimir Nabokov, which famously known for his work Lolita. Here, takes place prison. What would be the right answer here? Do like the session as well, share with your friends, and do join the Telegram channel, that is Santu Sahu UGC NET. Here, the right answer is actually, I am telling you here, that is the invitation to a beheading. This is the novel Vladimir Nabokov that takes place in a prison and follows the last 20 days of Cincinnatus C. Okay, so here invitation to a beheading is the right answer. So C is the right answer. And here is the explanation. You see that invitation to a beheading, that is invitation to an execution, is a novel by the Russian American author Vladimir Nabokov. And this novel takes place in a prison and relates the final 20 days of Cincinnatus C, a citizen of fictitious country who is imprisoned and sentenced to death for Gnostical turpitude. Now, what is Gnostical turpitude? The line, the border line between the illusions and the reality that is being faded. Okay, that is being blurred. The border line between the illusion and reality. The borderline is being here faded, or blurred. What is the title of the comic play written by Noel Coward, described as an improbable farce in 3 acts? Noel Coward has written a comic play that is described as an improbable farce in 3 acts. Merry mischief, whimsical whispers, blind spirit, jovial apparitions. And Noel Coward's another famous works are like that is private something, hay fever. Okay, hay fever was there. Private life was probably there. Private life. These are important works by Noel Coward. Okay? Hay fever, private life. And what's the title of the comic play by the Noel Coward, described as an improbable farce in 3 acts? Merry mischief, whimsical whispers. The title has been taken from a romantic poet. Now you tell me, the title has been taken from a romantic poet. You tell me now, from romantic poet's poem. Now you tell me, where does this phrase appear? Can you remember the spirit, blithe spirit? In which poem do we find this phrase blithe spirit? Tell me, write it in the comment box. Here, blithe spirit is Noel Coward. Remember karo, kaun sa poem mein this phrase blithe spirit appears? So another famous works by Noel Coward is Hay Fever, Private Life, and most famous one is Blithe Spirit. Blithe Spirit. Yeah, Blithe Spirit is a comedy play by Noel Coward. Okay? Describing by the author, any Noel Coward himself had said that this is an improbable farce in 3 acts. Okay? And his important works are Hay Fever, Private Lives, Designed for Living, Present Laughter, Blithe Spirit. The most famous one is Blithe Spirit and Hay Fever. These are 2 works, Hay Fever and Blithe Spirit. Wordsworth used. In which work? What is the title of the novel written by Noel Coward? Symphony in 2 Keys, Pomp and Circumstances, Private Lives, Blithe Spirit. What is that title of the novel? He had also written novel by Noel Coward. And that is autobiographical. Autobiographical novel of Noel Coward. Symphony in 2 Keys, Pomp and Circumstances, Private Lives, and Blithe Spirit. What is the title of the novel? By the novel, which is autobiographical, the only novel by Noel Coward. It is B. Pomp and circumstances. Okay. Pomp and circumstances is the what? Pomp and circumstances. Okay. Who asks the question? How goes on here? You were talking about. Remember that blind spirit is not Wordsworth actually. It is P.B. Shelley in Skylark. Okay. Here the blind spirit you see. No. It is pomp and circumstances. You see the phrase "the blind spirit." It's a work by Noel Coward, where the title has been taken from P.B. Shelley's work, "The Skylark." Wordsworth has not used blind spirit. Okay, Wordsworth has not used the Skylark. It is P.B. Shelley. The Skylark को उसने क्या बोला था? Blind spirit बोला था. ठीक है? The Skylark. Who asks the question, "How goes the night boy?" in Macbeth? Macbeth, Banquo, Duncan, Macduff. Who asked the question, "How goes the night boy?" in Macbeth? Got it? Blind spirit in P.B. Shelley's Skylark. That's why this novel is important. Noel Coward's The Blind Spirit. The title has been taken from. It is Banquo, okay? It is Banquo. Banquo has used this term. How goes the night boy? This is Banquo. That's why B is the answer. Next question. The moon is down. The moon is down. What is the significance of the title? It refers to clock that has stopped working. It symbolizes the passage of time in the story, or it reflects the darkness and uncertainty of the situations, or it signifies a peaceful and calm night. And it is by John Steinbeck, by the American writer John Steinbeck. Okay? John Steinbeck has written "This Moon is Down." Important novel here. John Steinbeck has written, who has written novels, works like that is The Grapes of Wrath, isn't it? Okay, Gorody Singh 2. The moon is down. The moon is down. That means it reflects the darkness and uncertainty of the situation. Yeah, exactly. The moon, it reflects the darkness and the uncertainty of situation. Exactly. What is the title of the novel by John Steinbeck that is derived from the line in Macbeth? Now you tell me. Now you have understood which one will be the answer here. Okay, 22C, got it, yeah. 23 on screen. What is the title of the novel by John Steinbeck? Is derived from a line in Macbeth. That's why the novel is very important. And the speech of Banquo. The Grapes of Wrath, Of Mice and Men, East of Eden. These are important works by John Steinbeck. Exactly. Why not? Why are you putting question mark? Guru? It is. Why are you putting? The moon is down. Okay. The moon is down. The title has been taken from Macbeth. And it is Bang. You see, Banquo is asking it. The Moon is Down is a novel by American writer John Steinbeck. The title of the book comes from Macbeth. Just before Banquo encounters Macbeth on his way to kill Duncan, he asks his son, Flint, "How goes the night, boy?" Boy is here. Who is boy? It is Flint, Banquo's son. And Flint replies, "The moon is down. I have not heard the clock." This is in Act 2, Act 2, Scene 1, isn't it? The moon is down, I haven't heard. This line was spoken by Flint. And Banco is saying, how goes the night boy? The boy is here, Flint. Okay, this is John Steinbeck's novel, The Moon is Down. What is the title of the 1948 book by Roald Dahl, which is historically significant for being one of the first novels about the nuclear war published after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, Sometime Never, a Fable for Superman, or the BFG. What is the title of the 1948 book by Roald Dahl, which is historically significant for being one of the first novels about the nuclear war published after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? "24" is on your screen. These are quality contents. I repeat once again. Exactly. Fantastic, Sobransu. Excellent. Incredible. This is Sometime Never, a Fable for Superman by Roald Dahl. Sometime Never, a Fable for Superman. Yeah, exactly, Anandita. Sometime Never, a Fable for Superman is the war. That is by Roald Dahl. Okay, dealing with atomic, published after the atomic bombings, dealing with nuclear war. Excellent. Here C is the right answer. Sometime Never, a Fable for Superman, the 1948 book by Roald Dahl, its first adult novel. It is historically noteworthy as one of the first novels about nuclear war published after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Got it? Which novels of Aldous Huxley begins with a vignette describing the destruction of the world by nuclear and chemical warfare at the hands of intelligent baboons? The two warring sides each have an Einstein on a leash, which they force to press the button and releasing clouds of disease-causing gases towards each other. Brave New World, Abe and Essence, 1984, Fahrenheit 451. Fantastic novels these are. These are all dystopian. No, I knew you will answer like this, Rodor. I knew you will answer like this. Fahrenheit 451 has not written by Aldous Huxley, and I knew that Godot will answer. इतना हड़बड़ी क्यों कर रहे हो Godot? ठीक है? I knew that you will answer like this. Brave New World, Abe and Essence, 1984. So Fahrenheit 451 by Rob Atterbury, isn't it? 1984 dystopian novel by George Orwell, published in 1949. Abe and Essence and Brave New World. These are all dystopian novels by Huxley, by Aldous Huxley. Clear? And here the right answer is Abe and Essence. Abe and Essence is the dystopian novel by Aldous Huxley. Here begins with the vignette describing the destruction of the world by nuclear and chemical warfare. That is Abe and Essence. Another famous dystopian novel by Aldous Huxley is Brave New World. Fahrenheit 451 by Rob Atterbury. Okay. Next questions. Here is the explanation that Abe and Essence 1948 is a novel by Huxley. It is a dystopian novel. It begins with a vignette describing the destruction of the world by nuclear and chemical warfare at the hands of the intelligence baboons. The two warring sides is have an Einstein on a leash, which they force to press the button, releasing clouds of disease-causing gases towards each other. The story then advances to a time. The story then advances to a time 100 years after the catastrophic events of World War III. After the catastrophic events of World War III. Abe and Essence. Okay? Who is the protagonist of Fahrenheit 451? Captain Beatty, and you will hear Fahrenheit 451. Guy Montag, Mildred Montag. Who is the protagonist of this novel here? Fahrenheit 451 by Robert Atterbury. प्रोटैगनिस्ट कौन है? बुक कैचेस फायर, बुक इज बर्न। Exactly. It is Guy Montag. Exactly, Subhrang. So it is Guy Montag is the protagonist of Fahrenheit 451 by Robert Bradley. Okay. So Guy Montag is the right answer. Excellent. What is the main premise of the novel Fahrenheit 451? What is the main premise? A society where technology has taken over all the aspects of human life, or where books are celebrated and revered, or society where books are outlawed and banned by firemen, a society where people have lost the ability to read and write. What is the main premise of this novel? Fahrenheit 451. Important novel. Important novel. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Excellent. A society where books are outlawed and banned by firemen. Excellent. Anindita. Excellent. So a society where books are outlawed and banned by firemen. That is premise of the novel. This Fahrenheit 451. Excellent. What does Guy Montag, the protagonist of this novel Fahrenheit 451, ultimately decide to do in the novel? So read the lines and answer. I have only two questions left. Okay? I will be ending here with 30. Question number 30. This is 28 and ending with 30. Okay. Only two questions are left here. Excellent. Everyone right? He quits. Exactly. He quits his job as a fireman and seeks to preserve literary and cultural right. Exactly. This is D is the right answer. Excellent, everyone. Fantastic. And here is the explanation of Fahrenheit 451 is a 1953 dystopian novel. American writer Robert Brady. It presents an American society where books have been personified and outlawed and firemen banned any that are found. The novel follows Guy Montag, a fireman who becomes disillusioned with his role of censoring literature and destroying knowledge, eventually quitting his job and committing himself to the preservation of literary and cultural writings. This is a very famous one by Robert Brady, who won the Booker Prize in 1985 for the novel The Bone People. J.K. Rowling, Margaret Atwood, Kerry Hume, and Kazu Ishiguro. And Kazu Ishiguro probably in 2017 probably. I can't remember exactly. 17 or 18 probably he got the Nobel Prize. Ishiguro, the Nobel Prize. It's 17 or 19. Which one? I can't remember exactly Kazu Ishiguro. When did he receive the Nobel Prize? Here, you tell me. Exactly. The New Zealand writer, excellent. The New Zealand writer here, Kerry Hume. Exactly, I let Kerry Hume, the New Zealand writer. The Booker Prize 1984 novel here, The Bone People, is the famous work by Kerry Hume here. Remains of the Day, Kaji Ishiguro. Exactly. So Kerry Hume actually here Kerry Hume has written The Bone People and she got the 1985 Booker Prize. 17, yeah, exactly, 17, yeah, 17 he got. Thank you for this 17. Exactly, 17 May. Yeah. So Kerry Hume, The Bone People. The Bone People, styled by the reader and in some editors as the Bone People, 1984 novel by the New Zealand writer Kerry Hume, set on the coast of the South Island of New Zealand. The novel focuses on three characters, all of whom are isolated in different ways: a reclusive artist, a mute child, the child's foster father. Over the course of the novel, the trio develop a tentative relationship are driven apart by violence reader. Here are two cultures, Maori culture and Pakeha, that is New Zealand European. Okay, two culture, Maori and Pakeha culture, myths and language are blended through the novel. The novel has polarized critics and readers, with some praising the novel for its power and originality, while other have criticized his writing style and portrayal of violence. So these two cultures, Maori culture and Pakeha culture, that is New Zealand European, the descendants of European here, have been mixed, blended. This is the last question. What is the name of the series of the three novels written by Maurice Gee, another New Zealand writer? Okay? Another New Zealand writer. Okay? Maurice Gee, Kerry Hume, then the short story writer who is the famous short story writer Catherine Mansfield. Catherine Mansfield has written the work Prelude as well. Catherine Mansfield has written a short story, Prelude. What is the name of the series of three novels written by Maurice Gee? The Generational Saga, the Kiwi Chronicles, the Plum Trilogy, the Family Heritage. Here the right answer is the Plum Trilogy. Okay, Maurice Gee, Kerry Hume, they're famous authors of New Zealand writer. Here Plum Trilogy is the answer. Plum Trilogy by Maurice Gee. The Plum Trilogy is a series of three novels written by New Zealand author Maurice Gee. First one is Plum, the second one is Meg, third one is Soul Survivor. Plum, Meg, Soul Survivor. The trilogy follows the lives of a New Zealand family across the three generations, exploring the impacts of history, politics, religion on the family, and has been described by the New Zealand writers and literary critics as one of the greatest achievements in New Zealand literature. Okay, so this is how I will be ending the session here. Okay, I'll be ending the session here. Okay. Thank you. Do like the session, share with your friends. Those who haven't joined yet the Telegram channel, you can join the Telegram channel and enjoy the free videos. Stay tuned with this channel. Okay. See you tomorrow. Take care. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll be meeting tomorrow again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for watching this. Okay, so let's end it here. Good night. Good night. Good night, Subhranshu, Anandita, Gaurav, Saurabh, and those who are watching. Let's end it here. Take care. Raju. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.